Hello, history enthusiasts, and welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the most captivating stories of the ancient world, the journey of ancient Egypt. This civilization, defined by its powerful pharaohs, mysterious gods, and monumental pyramids, thrived for over 3,000 years along the fertile banks of the Nile. Join us as we explore Egypt's legendary rise, its breathtaking achievements, and its long-lasting legacy. And at the end, don't forget to check out our other videos exploring the lives of ancient civilizations and our distant ancestors on this channel. Imagine traveling back to the land of the Nile, where civilization flourished for over 3,000 years, a place of golden sands, towering temples, and mysterious deities. This is ancient Egypt, a world where kings were gods, tombs were portals to eternity, and achievements in art, medicine, and mathematics shaped the foundations of history. The rise along the Nile, 3100 BCE. Around 3100 BCE, scattered communities along the fertile Nile began to unify, attracted by the lifeblood of the river's predictable floods, which allowed abundant harvests. As agriculture thrived, small villages grew into cities, each one harnessing the river's resources. Eventually, these communities united to form Upper and Lower Egypt, each ruled by its own kings. But soon, a powerful figure would rise to unify these two kingdoms under a single crown, and with it, a single vision. The first pharaohs and divine rule around 3100 BCE, King Narmer, or Menes, as some sources say, conquered and united Upper and Lower Egypt, marking the beginning of the early dynastic period and the rise of the first pharaohs. The pharaoh wasn't just a king, he was the divine connection between the gods and the people, responsible for upholding Ma'at, the balance of truth, justice, and harmony in society. Wearing the double crown symbolizing unity, the pharaoh wielded immense power and sacred duty. The Old Kingdom, the Age of the Pyramids, 2686 to 181 BCE. As the Old Kingdom dawned, Egypt entered an era of architectural marvels and great prosperity. Pharaoh Djoser commissioned the first pyramid at Saqqara, a massive step pyramid designed by his visionary architect Imhotep. This marked the beginning of monumental architecture. But the height of pyramid construction came with Khufu, who built the Great Pyramid of Giza, a symbol of Egyptian ingenuity and ambition. Pyramids were more than tombs. They were spiritual structures, designed to help the pharaoh ascend to the afterlife and join the gods. Yet the grandeur of pyramid building strained the economy, and by 2181 BCE, weakened by famine, internal strife, and the weight of these costly projects, Egypt entered its first intermediate period. Central authority crumbled, and local governors, or nomarchs, took control of their regions. The Middle Kingdom, an era of stability and cultural flourishing, 2055-1650 BCE, Egypt recovered and entered a golden age known as the Middle Kingdom. This period saw a revival of centralized rule, and the pharaohs strengthened their authority through reforms in agriculture, trade, and administration. Senusret I expanded Egypt's borders and established extensive trade routes, linking Egypt to the Levant and Nubia, which brought luxury goods like ivory, gold, and incense. The Middle Kingdom is often remembered as a time of literature and arts. Works such as The Tale of Sinuhe offered insights into Egyptian values, beliefs, and an emerging sense of individualism. The pharaohs became more approachable, viewing themselves as shepherds of the people and striving to embody the ideals of justice and care for their subjects. The Hyksos invasion and the Second Intermediate Period, 1650-1550 BCE. Egypt's prosperity attracted the attention of foreign invaders, and around 1650 BCE, the Hyksos, a group of foreign chieftains from the Levant, took control of northern Egypt. The Hyksos brought new military technology, including the chariot and composite bow, which Egyptians had never seen. Their rule marked the Second Intermediate Period, a turbulent time of division and foreign dominance. But in southern Egypt, a young prince named Amosin I would one day lead a revolt, reclaiming Egypt for the Egyptians and heralding the dawn of Egypt's most famous era, the New Kingdom, Empire, and Golden Age. 1550-1070 BCE, Ahmose's victory over the Hyksos marked the beginning of the New Kingdom, Egypt's Golden Age. This period was a time of expansion, innovation, and extraordinary rulers, from the female pharaoh Hatshepsut, who reigned with the strength of a king and promoted trade with distant lands, to Thutmose III, who expanded Egypt's influence into the Levant and Nubia. Amenhotep IV, later known as Akhenaten, turned Egypt on its head with a radical religious reform, declaring Aten, the sun disk, as the sole god. This short-lived shift toward monotheism challenged the traditional priesthood of Amun and reshaped Egyptian art, resulting in more natural, intimate depictions of the royal family. After Akhenaten's death, his reforms were abandoned, but his reign left a lasting impression. And then there was Tutankhamun. Though a minor king, his tomb, discovered by Howard Carter in 1922, remains one of the most famous archaeological finds of all time, giving the world an intact glimpse into the splendor of royal burial practices. But perhaps no pharaoh left a mark as large as Ramses II. Known as Ramses the Great, he led military campaigns against the Hittites, signed one of the first known peace treaties, and erected massive temples at Abu Simbel. His reign epitomized the grandeur and ambition of the New Kingdom. The Late Period and the Third Intermediate Period, 1070-332 BCE. Over time, internal strife, invasions, and economic challenges weakened the New Kingdom. Egypt split into different regions, with power divided between local rulers and high priests in Thebes. This Third Intermediate Period saw foreign powers, including the Nubians and later the Assyrians, invading Egypt. By 525 BCE, the Persians conquered Egypt, absorbing it into their vast empire, though Egypt retained its cultural identity. The Ptolemaic Dynasty and Cleopatra, 332-30 BCE. When Alexander the Great conquered Egypt in 332 BCE, he founded the city of Alexandria, a center of learning and culture. After his death, his general Ptolemy took control, establishing the Ptolemaic dynasty, a fascinating fusion of Greek and Egyptian traditions. It was during this era that the Library of Alexandria was built, attracting scholars from around the ancient world and housing thousands of scrolls. The last ruler of this dynasty, Cleopatra VII, is legendary. Known for her intelligence, charm, and political savvy, Cleopatra sought to keep Egypt independent through alliances with Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony, but her ambitions ultimately failed. Following her defeat by Octavian, Egypt fell under Roman control in 30 BCE, marking the end of pharaonic rule. The enduring legacy of ancient Egypt. Even after its decline, Egypt's influence continued to shape history. The mysteries of its hieroglyphs, unlocked by the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, fascinated the world and revealed a civilization deeply rooted in reverence for the gods, a belief in an eternal afterlife, and a passion for architecture and art. From their advanced medical practices to the engineering of the pyramids and the first recorded peace treaties, Egyptians pioneered many fields that remain foundational to human progress. The Egyptians' understanding of balance between life and death, chaos and order, heaven and earth, created a legacy that has survived through millennia. The ruins of their temples, the artifacts in their tombs, and the symbols inscribed on their monuments continue to speak to us across the ages, reminding us of a time when human civilization first reached for the stars. Thank you for joining this journey through the incredible history of ancient Egypt. If you're fascinated by these stories, be sure to watch our other videos exploring ancient civilizations and the lives of our distant ancestors on this channel.